Teachers deal with uncertainty on a daily basis because they deal with people who can be very unpredictable. Children, young people, sometimes parents. This is why teachers work really hard to reduce uncertainty in their day by being as organised and planned as possible, so that if there is an unexpected behavioural issue with a student, they'll be able to respond in an appropriate way. During this pandemic, teachers have been dealing with huge levels of uncertainty. They've taught at school, then flipped to teaching online, and then, with very little notice, returned to face-to-face teaching. All of this in a general climate of uncertainty and fear. And during these uncertain times where the landscape changes from day to day, it is vitally important that teachers are aware of how uncertainty affects them and that they learn healthy ways to deal with that uncertainty. In this video, I'm going to share with you some effective strategies that will help you manage the uncertainty that we're living with in these extraordinary times. And there are also strategies that you can use to support your students through modelling the strategies and also through explicit teaching in your social skills lessons with your students. My name's Maria Amaro, and I'm the Principal Presenter at The Highly Effective Teacher. I'm a teacher, and I've been supporting teachers and students for over 30 years and working with teachers so that they can thrive in the teaching profession. Improved teacher wellbeing means improved student wellbeing, and that contributes to better academic and social outcomes. If you'd like to learn more about teacher wellbeing, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you receive notifications of all our videos. When you subscribe to our channel, that helps to support the channel and means that we can keep making these videos to get the information and support out to teachers who need it. Learning healthy and productive ways to deal with uncertainty is a skill we all need in order to survive and thrive in the world. Life is full of uncertainty, and as Tony Robbins says, the quality of our lives is dependent on the level of uncertainty that we can comfortably live with. Think about what may go well. Mark Twain's quote says, "My life's been full of terrible misfortunes, most of which never actually happened." Worrying doesn't help, and envisioning the worst outcomes doesn't protect us from disappointment. It just makes right now really bad. And there are so many things that can potentially go wrong. Imagining them now doesn't help what is going to happen in the future. And when you focus on imagining life happy and productive, you feel better and are then able to be more calm and productive and confident moving forward. Be aware of how you are thinking. Notice how you are thinking and what you are thinking. Your thoughts determine your feelings, so it's really important to be aware of catastrophic thinking or doomsday thinking, which will greatly impact how you feel and consequently how you act. For example, if you're thinking that nothing matters and everything's terrible, you may start to feel despondent and hopeless, and then you may sit in your house all day doing nothing productive, drinking too much or eating loads of sugar, creating a cycle where you then feel even worse. Reflect on past successes. Remember that in the past you have dealt with uncertainty and you were okay with it. It may seem as though your life has been certain, but at many times life is not that. Reflect on what helped you before, what thoughts helped to keep you calm, and if not exactly relaxed about that uncertainty, at least not constantly worried. Think about difficult situations in the past that you've gone through. What were the things that helped you? What were the positives of that situation? What did you learn about yourself? And remind yourself that you did get through it. Look for opportunity in uncertainty. Think about the opportunities that you're being offered in this time when it's very uncertain. There's more chances for connecting with family, perhaps pursuing creative activities, getting to clean out that garage that you've been meaning to get to for years, and maybe learning new skills. And for teachers, perhaps that's learning new skills in IT that you were going to do for a long time. Life is actually more uncertain than we recognise, and it can be quite a shock to the system when we see that our world can be overturned so quickly. And you'll know this if you've ever lost a loved one, had a breakup, moved house, had a baby. In fact, there are any number of life events that often crystallise how little control we have over the events that occur in our own lives. What we do have control over, and you would have heard many times before, is how we react to those events. Be kind to yourself. This can never be said enough, and people need reminding all the time, and teachers often need permission to be kind to themselves. Take it easy and don't judge yourself on how well you're managing the challenges in these uncertain times. If you're more tired than normal or feeling more stressed than normal, don't add to that by giving yourself a hard time about it. Take it easy. Try something new. Lots of people are trying new things at this time. For example, making sourdough bread, or making music videos at home, or learning to ride a bike, or practicing that skill. Learning a new skill helps to create some novelty in your life and doing something different, and that's really good for your brain. Limit your news intake. News consumption has increased hugely during the pandemic, and it makes sense that we all want to know what's going on. But huge amounts of news and watching it constantly puts us in a high state of alert, which is anxiety-raising and exhausting. Limit the number of times you check the news throughout the day and give yourself a break. I've found it's actually really good to just go, I'm only going to check the news once and then I'll check it again tomorrow. It's enough. Don't focus on what you cannot control. Thinking about politicians and world events and injustices is important and necessary in order to be a responsible citizen. But getting caught up on focusing on what's out of your control is frustrating and pointless and really doesn't feel good. Take your own advice. Think about what you would tell a good friend who was feeling anxious and uncertain and came to you for advice. You do know what's good for you and what will help you. And as always, it's often easier to give it good advice than to take it yourself. Control what you can. Think about the things where you like to have control in your space and do things that are good for yourself and make you feel better, like clean up your workspace, plan weekly menus, organise a space that's not working for you. It will feel better and feel like you have some control. Seek support when you need it. Reaching out for support from trusted friends, colleagues and family can really help, even if it is just for a laugh and a chat. And I've found that sometimes I don't even need to necessarily talk about my issue. Just chatting and connecting with other people can take me out of myself. And sometimes listening to someone else's problems is even better, because then I'm not alone. I realise I'm not alone. Self-care. During difficult times, it can be tricky to keep up your self-care because everything feels more tiring and out of whack. But this is actually the time when you need your self-care more than ever. Brendan Burchard uses this acronym, MEDS, which is MEDS, and it stands for meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. And while you know all those things are important, we often need reminding. And I think that acronym is really great because those are our meds. They're the things that help keep us on top. As does holding on to the things that you already have, holding on to the rituals or stabilizing rocks that keep you grounded. Keep doing those things that you know keep you grounded and stable when things are more certain. For example, waking up at the same time every morning, exercising either in the morning or the night, whatever works for you, going for a walk at lunchtime, reading before bed, going to bed at the same time. These are the things that will create some certainty in your life because they're the things you do all the time to look after yourself. Accept that this is a stressful time. I've often found that it's my resistance to the stresses in life that increases my suffering, especially during difficult times. If I spend the time saying to myself, it shouldn't be like this, it actually exacerbates feelings of stress and anxiety. When I accept that it's a difficult time, that changes the way I feel and it helps to make things more bearable. This is one that I think is really useful, and that's practice dealing with uncertainty. Do something that you're not quite sure of how it works, like cooking a new dish without checking the recipe multiple times and see what the outcome is and how you deal with the outcome. If you cook something without checking it all the time, was it a disaster? And then how did you deal with that disaster? Or did it turn out okay anyway? Good luck with dealing with the uncertainty of these times. It is a challenge for all of us, but we can do it. Thank you for watching this video. Stay safe and happy teaching.